As you know, the cost of living in America, it's really skyrocketing right now in 2026. Many people are really giving up on everything, especially millenniums and Gen Zs. They're struggling to have one, two, and three jobs in order for them to pay the rent, their utilities, their mortgage, insurance, groceries, you name it. And this is not only nationwide. This goes for Australia, Europe, and all those countries, like especially Canada. Things are really skyrocketing. How can average Americans survive making $15 an hour, knowing that they have to uh, get all the payments at the end of the month to have it all together, especially rent, utilities, gas? Everything is so expensive nowadays. Groceries up in the roof. Inflation is at 3.3%, and people are getting laid off because AI. So people are starting to live in their vehicle. In average, it's 7,000 to go homeless this year, and we have 3.3 million people living in their car, or living in their van, or living in their storage unit. A lot of people, younger generations and even older, are giving up. The seniors are abandoned. They're struggling to get their medication. The health insurance, health system is broken system. Hard for them to get their medication. And as you know, everything that you work for 40, 50 years of your life is just to pay your bills. So people are kind of giving up in their credit card as well. People are kind of giving up because everything that you have here, housing, you name it, you're trying to buy a house, the bank will tell you, yeah, go ahead and get it. Give me 20% and then pay it in 20, 30 years. Imagine if you're 40 right now. If you're 40 right now and you got 30 years to pay, you're going to be 70 when that house is paid off. And if you don't pay your uh, yearly tax for property tax, the bank will take over and the government will take it away from you. The land is the same thing. So nobody wants to buy land or houses or cars. My car note is about $600 a month. That's just for the payment. Insurance, 300. So we're looking at 900 just for a car, plus not even adding the gas. So many millions of Americans are struggling with these issues every single day in their lives. No wonder why people here got mental illness, people have loneliness, people become very like they get heart stroke, they get a heart disease, cancer, you name it, because the food that we're eating is poisoning us. The water that we drink is dead, the air that we breathe is contaminated. So at some point, the system wants us to be broke, the system wants us to be sick, and the system wants us to obey all the rules and regulations that they have. We got to get used to all the stuff that they say, because if we don't, it's considered a crime and you can go to jail. Tell me if I'm wrong. So many different things in life that we've been programmed since we were kids. We've been programmed to believe that we were going to achieve all this kind of stuff when we never were going to be able to do none of that kind of stuff. We've been programmed since we were kids that we were supposed to be going to school, get a college degree, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end, I don't think it's real. I think that everything that we've been having for centuries, since 1920s, has been a programming that they wire our brains to believe that this is what we got to do. There's really nothing next or nothing after that. And I started to realize that everything that they say is just a bunch of shit. Like, it's full of shit. So I don't really believe in none of that kind of stuff they're telling us, because I really, at the end, it's just the programming. The system wants you to be broke. The system wants you to be sick, and they've been programming you your whole life. And people have started revealing now. They're stop buying crap. People are not buying cars no more. People are not buying clothing no more. People are not buying houses anymore. People are not buying a lot of different shit they don't even need, because they say own nothing and be happy. So what they basically do, they just travel all over the United States in a freaking random car, just travel and park anywhere and sleep there and not paying rent, and you're saving about $2,000 a month, which is $24,000 a year. That's your whole income right there. But people have started noticing and realizing that they just work to pay 40, 50, 60 hours a week. If you don't show up every day at 6 in the morning at work, you get fired. Once you get fired, you're done. You don't have no more income. They never really told you how to actually make money. They just told you to be programming, to be wiring your brain to some kind of slavery that they want you to be. They don't ever want you to, they don't really want you to be successful here. All they told you was that. So people are struggling to pay their mortgage, the utilities. People are struggling to pay their groceries. People are struggling to pay their rent, their mortgage. It's pretty insane. It's really skyrocketing right now. And people are getting real sick because they can't. If you get real sick and if you can't show up at work, they consider it firing you. So they fire you and then you lose your income. And then if you have a house to pay it off, you won't be able to do those payments. So the bank will take over. The same with the car. And then you got to ask for food stamps, for groceries, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, every single American nationwide, millions and millions are struggling and they're giving up on the cost of living. It's crisis. It's really bad right now. It's really skyrocketing up in the roof. But the richer can send like rockets, spending billions to study the moon and stuff and to bomb the hell out of other countries, which is pretty crazy. They spend in Iran over probably 1 billion a day, if I'm not mistaken. And over like California, Austin, and all those cities, they're just having so many homeless like never seen before in decades. And it's just pretty bad the way how everything's going right now. So expensive, rent, utilities, and things are gonna get way even worse. I hope you all enjoyed this video. You all take care. God bless.